Okay, so very good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My intention today is actually very simple, not say simple, but because of the feedbacks that I've been getting from many of you, I want to help you to understand why your body sometimes struggles to recover and how can we support it better. Okay, today's session is more for you like a reflection to see yourself, to see your recovery. And if there are some points that you could have missed along the way, maybe you have overlooked, I hope it could be something that you can apply, use, and take action upon in this journey of healing. Yeah. So, very good afternoon, all of you. I see Linda, Mr. Lam, Mr. Tam, uh, Lily Go, Ruth, hi, May, all the way from Philippines, Linda from here, Malacca, Zara, Mo, Lingwa. Yeah, so fun. Thank you for joining this afternoon. This session was actually planned a couple of days because I felt maybe some of us need some refresher, maybe some reminder, and maybe hopefully a change of mindset about how we look at our healing. Okay. And also just a quick note to say that this is for educational purposes. iTeraCare or whatever the device that you're using right now, BioLite. So they are not medical devices and it's not to replace medical advice. So continue with your medical follow-up and consult your doctor for any health concerns. Right. So with that, allow me to share my slides. I really hope that this session can be interactive. If I've asked questions, please type in the chat for your answers. Reflect upon yourself. Don't be shy. You're all in this journey together and we are all learning together. Okay. So allow me to start now and let me share my slide here. Okay, so for those of you who may not know me still, I'm Ilan. I'm a pharmacist by profession, but of many years, I'm already very interested in community healthcare and especially more on the preventive side. Rather than waiting for something to happen and you go to the doctor, you get medications, even maybe for surgical interventions. I feel that part of your health is already like a bit too late, you know. I prefer to now to create more awareness and attention and education so that you can go along with your life, take care of your body, and as far as you can, avoid avoid all those things that need to be fixed, need to fix your body. Okay. Having said that, for those of you who already are living with existing diseases, it is still not too late. You can still recover. And this is what I'm going to explain later on today. Yeah. So let's see where. Right. So today, let's talk about something that many people experience quietly. Like, why recovery feels so slow? Like why symptoms keep returning back? And then why people still feel stuck even after trying, like they take medications, they take supplements, they go for treatments, they go for massages, right? They do TCM, physio, and yeah, but yet the symptoms still keep coming back, right? Do you have this experience? Okay, if you have, you can type a yes in the chat because this things are like in a cycle. Okay, it happens over and over again, and until you figure out why, you will probably still be stuck in that loop. So over the years, as I said, I've stood on both sides, supporting people with medications and protocols, but I've also watched deeper patterns, like how people manage the symptoms and still struggle to recover. And this is where I would like to share deeply today is it is not about fighting your body. Okay, we don't want to fight your body. We want to partner with your body and improve the conditions that your body needs to repair. Okay. Do you agree with me that you know that your body can repair, right? You can type number one, but your body needs the support. Okay, so let's review that again. What is the support that your body needs and how we can provide it? Okay, so right, thank you, Zara. Number one, one, one. Okay, if all of you type one and yes, we are on the same track. All right, let's go to the next thing. So why do people struggle to heal, right? Despite doing all the right things. So this is where we have to shift the healing mindset. Okay, your mindset about looking at how you heal your body has to shift a little bit. Let me just share a little bit of a situation. Like, someone in my years of practice, right? Someone has reached out to me. She's been doing everything. She she takes a lot of supplements I was selling at the pharmacy. She goes for therapy sessions. She's diligently going for follow-ups with the doctors. Very diligent, very careful and conscious about her health. But somehow she still feels that her body is still aching on and off, feel tired, and then sleeping sometimes not very good, right? So she feel like even though she's doing all these things, like her body is not responding anymore. So if you have felt like that, just just to understand, not it's not normal, but it's just that you're not weak, okay? Your body is not giving up on you. It is just not about I must try this, I must try that. It is now looking not from the external factors to help you, but to look at yourself internally on how what your body needs to help itself. Okay, do you get this drift? So the key point here to note is that the healing is a process. It is not a magic fix. Okay, when we go and look for something, we try this supplement, we try that treatment, we take some medication. We always feel that yeah, the we want to get immediate kind of relief and we want to see immediate results. But just know that the healing takes time. So we are always, the body is always trying to survive and repair. Just because sometimes you do something, it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that the body is not responding. The body is trying hard to survive and repair. And symptoms are often just signals, okay? The symptoms that you feel are signals. They're not really the root cause. So when you feel the pain or you feel certain discomfort, you got gastric pain or so, it is not telling you my stomach is painful or my knee is giving way. It is sometimes just telling you that something is not right in your body, right? So you have to understand that level. And when you want to heal, right, it's not healing by just removing the pain. Okay, just because the pain is gone, it doesn't mean your body has healed. No, the pain has gone because maybe one layer has improved. But if you want the pain to not come back and to actually address what is the real condition, the healing happens here where you see at the cellular level. You have to really, really dig deep, okay? And one of the tools that we use, right, iTeraCare, it helps in it supports in this body's natural healing mechanisms. Okay, so all this I will go a little deeper as we go along in this session. Okay, so now just remember the key point here to remember is healing is not about fighting the body, it's about creating the right environment so the body can repair itself. Okay, are we on this same track? Please type a number one if you're on this same track. Okay, so please type lah, so I know you're listening and not tidur. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Linda, Zara. Okay. Let's take this analogy lah of your body like a garden. Your body is like a garden. So healthy environment, healthy cells. Okay. Would you like your body to be like this nice, beautiful garden with flowers blooming every time you see it, it makes you happy? Or what do you feel when you look at this garden or whatever you may call it lah? Is the plants are dead, the soil is dry, don't look alive at all, right? So toxic environment equals to stress cells. So this analogy is to let you know your body is like a garden. If you create a healthy environment in your body, then what is happy? Your body is healthy and actually your cells, the basic of the cells that's functioning for your body is happy because it's getting all it needs to thrive. But if your body is like this right side, dead, dry, no life, right? So, oh yeah, very toxic environment for your cells. Your cells feels very stressed. And of course, a stressed cells do not function, right? A stressed cells probably will die off eventually. So this is very important to understand. If you can remember this analogy, always ask yourself, am I a thriving garden or am I a dying plot of land? Okay. So understand this part here whereby if the soil is poor, no matter how expensive your fertilizer is, your plant will struggle. Okay, it cannot. The plant is not lazy, it's just that this environment is not supportive. So think of the body as such. That means what affects your internal terrains, that means internal conditions that you need will be this. You have poor circulation, okay, inflammation in your body, toxin accumulation, stress overload, poor sleep, emotional burden, sedentary lifestyle. All these things are like this poor soil. Okay, so if you have these things happening in your body, that is where the environment is not healthy. So a little reflection here is like your body is not broken, it is just very overwhelmed, okay, and stuck in a survival mode. Okay, is that all right to note? Okay, so right now, what is it in the modern life that makes this soil even harder than ever? Okay, so what is it in this modern life that is destroying that soil? So definitely our body is very overloaded now, yeah. So what are we overloaded with? I think all this, I think we all know, right? We see it every time. You see on Facebook, people are talking about it. People are advising. I think you know it all the time. But the key problem is probably we know but we don't take action or we don't realize how important it is that every single thing that we are exposed to has a part to play in our dry land and our deteriorating condition. So I'm going to say it again, but what I want you to do is to have a quick check, okay? And list down, or maybe you can write down in the chat, which is one of the stresses that is most common in your life right now, right? Is it too much of processed food? Is it lack of movement? Is it environmental toxins? Okay, you're exposed to not very good air, or you don't sleep enough, or you don't sleep well, you're taking excessive sugar, you don't drink enough water, okay, you poor hydration, you probably only drink when you're thirsty, which is not really good, okay, or you're under chronic stress every day, whether it's at work, with your family life, okay, with other circumstances that stresses you out or you're in emotional stress. Okay, you could be struggling with some relationships, you could be struggling with a sick relative or loved one. So all these things have an effect onto your daily stresses, and these are called modern stresses. So if all these stresses is not really addressed or you're not aware, chronic conditions will develop slowly over the years. All right. So that's why when people have high blood pressure or they have diabetes, and then you suddenly feel, wow, suddenly doctors say I got diabetes. Suddenly doctors say I have high blood pressure. This suddenly is not a suddenly disease. Okay. These conditions develop over the years that leads to that imbalance that cause the chronic disease. All right. So let me see. What are the stresses that you are currently having right now that you need attention? Okay, Pearl says too much sugar. Okay, I know Pearl, you're a dessert queen. Okay. Vidal said poor hydration and also extra sugar. Great. If you have at least one or two that you're aware, it's time to have that planted in your mind that every time you go back to that old habit, ask yourself, am I stressing my body? If the answer is yes, you have a choice, right? Whether you want to continue to stress your body or you want to remove that stress from your body. Okay, so take note. If you can't remember, you can just screenshot this and ask yourself. I'm not asking you to change everything overnight, but at least identify one item that you know is causing you that stress for your body, but just not so motivated to make that change. All right, clear, right? So now we go to the next one is now when this body is overloaded, not just to let you know, when your body is overloaded with all these stresses, right? What happens quietly on the inside is something called inflammation. Okay, so this is where we hear the word inflammation again, but we need to understand inflammation. Okay, so inflammation is like a hidden fire. Okay, something burning. Yeah, we can see inflammation. In fact, scientifically, medically, inflammation is good sign. Acute inflammation is protective for your body. Acute inflammation is something temporary that helps healing in your body. Right? For example, if you have a cut in your hand, suddenly it got red and inflamed because that is a process of healing, and which is good. After that, you get healed and everything gets well again. But there is another condition called the chronic inflammation, and this is different because chronic inflammation is silent, it's long-term built over time, and it's slowly damaging. Okay, it damages your tissues gradually. So this is the chronic inflammation that most of us are really not aware of, or we do not take it seriously, lah, or maybe because we don't feel it, because this inflammation takes time and very gradual change. So when we are living with inflammation, can eventually affect all our tissues. Okay? So take inflammation like a metaphor. It's like acute inflammation is like a campfire. Okay, you can have a campfire, but you can put out the fire. But chronic inflammation is like a big fire in your house, too big already. You cannot control. You need to get fire engine, firemen to come. So it's possible from a small fire, it can go into that big fire, right? So here's where, if you are not aware what is inflammation in your body, these are some of the signs of chronic inflammation. Again, I want you to look at this signs as I mentioned it, and reflect upon yourself which part of this that you are currently feeling right now, and you type in the chat, or you can just jot it down for you to realize that this is probably a sign of inflammation. All right. So, yeah, let me go next slide. So, do you have fatigue? Do you feel like tired time? Or suddenly you have brain fog, suddenly you're stuck, you like can't think anymore. You feel memory suddenly just boom, lost. Okay, I have it sometimes lah. In fact, quite a lot of times lah. Suddenly your trail of thoughts disappeared. You're talking about something, then you forget about it. Okay, now joint pains, very common, right? All of us, most of us have joint pains in some time or another. Shoulder pain, knee pain, back ache. Okay, body aches. Sometimes you wake up feeling very stiff. You feel, why today I don't feel like myself. And then poor sleep, you don't have deep sleep. You feel you wake up many times at night, or you do sleep that 8 hours, but somehow you still wake up tired. Okay, you do not have that rested kind of sleep. Digestive issues. Okay, if you feel bloated, indigestion, like feel sometimes I feel this like a bit like heartburn, like why is it not digesting properly? I would feel that way. Headaches also very common, right? Headaches, chronic headaches, right? Sometimes if you listen to headaches, what we normally do is those days, when you have a headache, the first thing you do is you go and take a painkiller, you take a Panadol to relieve the headache. But today, if you understand how to listen to your body, when you have a headache or even like a little migraine, the first thing you ask yourself is, what is my body lacking? And I can tell you the number one biggest lacking that you have is water, dehydration. So instead of taking Panadol, go and drink water. Okay, that actually can solve your problem very easily and quickly. Okay, maybe Mo can share that story later. And yeah, what about numbness? Okay, feeling numbness in your hands, maybe on your feet. Or some of you do tell me you're swelling in your ankles. Okay, you say, hey, how come my ankles are so swollen right now? And of course, if you have high blood pressure, you find that your pressure is maybe erratic, sometimes high, sometimes low. Diabetes, if you're having current diabetes, it's not well controlled. Okay, and you find that you're having certain complications like this, like tingling, burning feet. Or actually, those are some signs of nerve problem that if you're diabetic, it could be part of it. Okay, so let me see. What are these symptoms that you have? Mm. Poor sleep, yeah, to fall asleep. Okay, looks like sleeping is a common problem, yeah. Okay. Whatever it is, you start taking note of it. Because what happens is sometimes people normalize this inflammation. They think as normal lah. Hot day, sure, I feel like that. And because the symptoms is very gradual. So if you have these symptoms, try not to take it like normal. Try and understand. And if I also recommend that you all journal, I think a journal is very good. Just write, today I feel lousy, today I feel this, today I have swelling in my feet. You just journal so that, because at times when you look back, all these things are giving you signs about what's happening really in your body. Okay, so learn, the key point here is to understand and identify and be aware of these chronic inflammation symptoms that people tend to ignore. All right, so I go to the next one. Okay, now this slide is not to show you the mess, okay, but it's just to show you the fire burning inside lah. Okay. So over here, the inflammation is actually a cycle. Okay, let me just clear that out so you can see lah. So this inflammation cycle is, I just made some notes here so that we can remember. Yeah. So this cycle here is about like, starts with this lah. Poor circulation. Okay, poor blood circulation happens when your body is inflamed. And what happens when you have poor circulation? So when you have poor circulation, as you know, your blood carries oxygen, your blood carries nutrients, your blood carries, remove waste from your cells, your blood carries, of course, water, right? So it will carry all these things to your cells. But if you have poor circulation, then what will happen is oxygen will be reduced, your nutrients don't get to your cells for it to work, water don't enter your cells, waste starts accumulating because it cannot go out because of dehydration. That's why I always emphasize water is so important. So that's why we, even those with iTeraCare, we always tell you, please charge your water and drink it, because just by hydrating yourself well, especially with charged water where absorption is better, just that alone can solve maybe 50% of your problem. Okay, so that's what's happened, dehydration. So when it happens with dehydration, with accumulation, the inflammation starts to build up in your cells, okay, in your body. And when this inflammation happens, then you get this thing, you get pain, you get discomfort, right? So now you are telling us that, hey, why am I having this pain here and there? It is actually from all this cycle of inflammation and all that. So when you have pain and dysfunction, what happens? You will even get even poorer circulation, right? The inflammation causes more restriction and the cycle goes on. So poor circulation, more places that your body don't get all this oxygen will go deeper and deeper and deeper until your cells do not function. We call it cellular dysfunction, right? So when your cells don't function the way it is, whether your liver cells or your kidney cells or your heart cells, your brain cells, that's where you get the disease states coming in. So just understand that this cycle here is why people feel trapped. They feel trapped in recurrent symptoms. Why my pain goes away for a while, like even if you use iTeraCare, yes, you use iTeraCare, your pain maybe subsides, your blood circulation improves, but this cycle needs to be going to deeper level. So when we are using iTeraCare, just remember, right? iTeraCare is not positioned to fix a disease state or to cure, but it's something to support the environment. And what it does here is definitely to promote that better circulation. So once your circulation improves, it will disrupt this cycle. Okay, there won't be this cycle of going round and round. Somewhere along the line, your circulation improves, you get more oxygen to your cells, you get more nutrient delivery, your hydration is improved, right? You drink more water, your waste starts going up, and that's where that healing starts, right? So the next question will be this lah. So why is this circulation so important and so foundational? Okay. Basically, this is what we have to understand. Now, circulation changes everything because every single cell, every single of that trillion of cells in your body needs circulation, needs that good circulation. Again, I want to emphasize, right, that every cell needs oxygen, it needs nutrients, it needs hydration, and it needs a channel to remove the waste from your cell. Just like our body, right? We eat and then after that we go to the toilet every day. That is a cycle because we eat to get energy and we go toilet. And in your cells, the minute little cells is the same thing. They eat, they get oxygen, but they also need to purge out the things that is not used after they use all the nutrients. So this cycle is important in your cells. Remember, oxygen, the right nutrients, hydration, waste removal, right? So without circulation, of course, what happens? This is where your healing slows down, your waste accumulates, inflammation increases, and your tissues will degenerate. When your tissues degenerate, definitely the function goes down, right? So here is where, if you can improve this internal environment, especially this circulation, many people will start noticing that your body respond differently. I don't know whether you notice it or not instantly, but maybe differently. Maybe something gets a bit easier. Maybe getting up from the chair is a bit easier. Maybe waking up in the morning, you don't really feel so groggy. Suddenly you have a good, you suddenly feel that spurge of energy that, hey, I feel very fresh waking up today. If you have those kind of little symptoms, those are little signs that something is happening, something good is happening in your body. Okay? So far, so good. Okay. For me, whenever I share something to anyone and educate, right, I feel it's very important to understand the foundation. It's very important to understand a little bit deeper rather than just doing something because somebody told you to do, because somebody say it's good. You have to question, how does it make it good, right? Like when you're using iTeraCare, why does it make it good? So this is where I want to share a little bit about how iTeraCare supports us lah. Okay, how many of you are already having iTeraCare here? Type a 1, okay, if you have the units, and type a 2 if you have the unit and you're already using it consistently, All right, you know that this is something that I got to do every day. Okay, you can type a two. I hope to see a lot of twos here. But what if you have an iTeraCare, you're using it, but maybe not consistently as yet. Maybe as and when I feel I have pain, then I use it. It's okay, you don't just be honest about it. We are all human and our nature is that no pain, no problem. Okay. So if you have that on as and when, you can type a three, because I want to take you from a three to a two. Okay. I want you to have this understanding so you can appreciate how this simple device is supporting the foundations of your healing. Okay, Linda is two. The two Lindas are two. Lily Go is two. Yes, I know, Lily. That's why your hair is also so beautiful. Okay. Ruth is also a two. Very good, Ruth. Happy to see that. Okay. So the words are small, but the intention is there. You can take a screenshot and maybe just remember again how iTeraCare supports. Again, I iterate, iTeraCare doesn't heal you or cure you or anything. It just gives you that foundation to be better for you, right? So what are these foundations? So they are like microcirculation, like we're talking about now. It improves your circulation, your oxygenation. We need oxygen, okay? We need relaxation. You need to relax and calm down, okay? That because it really does calm down your nervous system, okay? Then it also helps for energy flow. Okay, it helps for your detox pathway. If you follow our Dr. Peter talking about TCM meridian pathways, it actually stimulates those meridians to help to improve your chi, right? So your energy flow, and it also improves your cellular communication. Okay, what does cellular communication means? It means your cells have to there has to be a message, to tell your cells what to do, just like a communication from your brain cells to tell your body what to do. Today, if you are hungry, something in your brain is telling something from your stomach is telling your brain that you're hungry. Today, if you're in pain, something in your body is telling your brain to tell your body that you're in pain. So there's a lot of communication happening, and this communication can also break down when you do not have post circulation. So communication is needed because it delivers other things lah in your blood vessel. Is not just blood only lah. It's not just the red blood cells. There's a lot of hormones. There's a lot of other things inside that delivers message to your brain to tell your brain to function and respond, or it doesn't tell your brain anything and then you got no response. Okay, so that communication is like a messenger. Okay, like sometimes you call your handphone, hey, hello, 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 cannot hear, no line, or line very poor. Okay, so when your line very poor, you cannot understand what your friend is saying, right? So your friend say, I'm coming at 4 o'clock, but you probably hear I coming 5 o'clock or whatever. So you get the wrong message. So communication is very important between yourselves, okay, among all yourselves. So far, okay? Right. So this is what we are doing to let you tell. I want to iterate again to say that iTeraCare is supporting. Okay, it's not diagnosing, it's not treating or replacing Medicare. So you have the right expectations when you use this device. Okay, so because in my work I've done this, I'm in this health line for more than 30 years, right? I always come back to the same one principle, which is do not force a change. You don't force your body to do things, you create the conditions, the favorable conditions, and your body will respond at its own pace. Okay, what I mean by at its own pace is because when you ask me how long can I see the response, I cannot tell you. 1 week, 1 month, or even one day, I don't know. I cannot tell you because it's your body, right? And we don't know how far off your body has already been in this inflammation or damaging thing. So sometimes when people get results in iTeraCare, 10 minutes, wow, I can move my hand, I can do all these things. It's like miracle, right? But actually it is not a miracle. It supported and helped to release some of these things like the circulation or the relaxation. It helped for that moment. But does it mean that after that 10 minutes and I can lift up my shoulder after having frozen shoulder for 2 years, am I healed? Am I cured? Does it mean that? Come, tell me yes or no. Because I know some of them who are so happy after 10 minutes, my shoulder, then they think that they're okay and then that's it. Okay. If the answer is no, I think you're shy to type in. Okay. If you know the answer is no, it is actually no. You are just relieving that symptom that suddenly you felt better. But deep down, you are not correcting what caused that pain in the first place. So if you have fast results, it doesn't mean that your iTeraCare is responding very fast for you. It doesn't mean that. It's just that probably at your level, your healing has responded in that one layer. And if you do one time, or you do 1 week or 1 month or maybe 3 months and you don't feel anything, does it mean that the iTeraCare is not working on you? My answer is also no, because again, we are all different. So long as you do it, you of course follow our guidance, you do it consistently, and you improve all this internal environment that may be blocking your healing, then you may see some results. Okay, so I'll go deeper into that as well. Yes, Linda, it's temporary. Yeah, most of it is temporary. Even though you feel good, your pain is gone, please don't be happy too fast, because good, you're having those relief, but you still have a lot of inner work to do. Yeah. So next we go into this body's healing process. Now, the body's response to healing is not linear. Okay. It doesn't mean if I do this, I'm going to get that. If I blow today, I'm going to get relief. Okay. It's not linear, because people may notice certain things like instead of relieving the pain, I think like some of you may have certain conditions, like I got shoulder pain or I got knee pain, and you're focusing on that. You're focusing on relieving that knee pain or that shoulder pain or that backache. But sometimes your body doesn't heal where you want to yet. Okay, what your body will feel is this. Yeah, you may feel like my pain is not gone, but I seem to have better sleep. I seem to be more energetic. Okay, I feel more calm. I don't get triggered very easily. Last time, everybody, a bad driver that overtakes me or so, I get angry. But now I'm like, okay lah, let him drive. Okay. Sometimes you may feel that you're a bit more calmer, or you may find you have increased urination. Now, this part of increased urination may frighten some of you, because you say, no, I don't want to get up at night and urine more. But actually, in the beginning part, if you have increased urination, I would say it's really good. Because this is what I've noticed. For those who are using like iTeraCare, and your internal healing is happening, increased urination means it's removing a lot of edema or water retention in your body. Okay, so if you're swelling legs, and some people are quite prone to all this water retention, especially if your kidneys are not functioning very well. Increased urination is a very good sign to show that your body is starting to respond and balance back. Okay, so it may not be, of course, it's not all the time lah, because once your body is stable, your water retention is less already. Sure, you will not go to urine often already, right? So don't be frightened by increased urination, because it's just a process of balancing your water balance in your body. Of course, you feel lighter. Suddenly you say, wow, I feel so much lighter. My stomach not so bloated. Oh, my swelling at the legs looks good. My legs don't feel so heavy anymore. Those are good signs for you. Okay. Then, of course, bowel changes. Maybe you find that last time I don't go toilet so often. Now I seem to be more regular. Every morning, sure, I will go. Then you may have also temporary discomfort now. Maybe like, why last time this part not pain, but now here pain. Last time I wake up feel so fresh. Why this time I wake up I feel suddenly backache or so. So the pain shifting sometimes is just a process. Okay, it's just a process whereby not everything is linear. Not everything you see is like straightforward. Okay, it's your body is trying to reorganize itself internally lah. So it makes sense or not what I'm saying? Okay. So if we keep focusing on what we just want to see, we may miss out on all these other improvements that is happening in your body. So please understand this, because I know it can be very frustrating sometimes when you're not seeing something happening in your body. Your body is not responding. Say, why my body is broken? My body is so old, or whatever it is. Don't give up too early, okay? Because it's about consistency, and again, healing takes time, and it may not be linear. Okay? So far, so good. Okay. Now, this next slide is important, because now we have to be a bit wise and responsible. Even though we hear things like healing crisis or things like that. So there is certain things that I just still want you to continue. Now, the key message here I want to deliver here is your body heals according to priority. Maybe even though your pain is in your back or your shoulder, but the priority is, I need to help the body to sleep better, because that's when I relax. I need to give my body more energy, because that's where this person can start to be more mobile. The body heals according to the priority. Maybe the shoulder pain is not that urgent, but your body maybe needs more water to your brains, to your heart. Okay, maybe the body say you need to calm down first. Okay, so this is your body. This is what your body decides. Okay, you don't decide. Your body knows what to do. You just give it the right conditions. Okay, now these healing reactions, right? Just to give an example, like an analogy about like healing crisis or healing reaction. Sometimes things feels worse before it feels better. Okay, especially if you have not been like very proactive about your take charge of your health lah. Every time you wait for something to happen, then only you take charge. If you're in that process of starting to do something different for your body may be stirred up and shocked. So for example, okay, if you have a storeroom or you have an attic, okay, maybe, and it's you don't go there very often. So of course, in time, the dust gets stirred up, right? You see thick layers of dust on the boxes or the furniture. And when you start to go and want to clean up that room, you see, you have to wear your mask, right? You're gearing yourself, because you know why? Because the dust, when you start cleaning, the dust will start coming up again, right? So it's gonna come up again, and you don't wear a mask, especially for me, it's like that. I'm very sensitive to dust. If I don't wear a mask, I'll start sneezing and sneezing. So you're stirring up something that's been there for a long time. And of course, for a little while, you may have this kind of conditions. So of course, after you have vacuumed the room, you have mopped, you have cleaned and all that, the dust is gone. Okay. And you start feeling good. You suddenly say, wow, so clean my attic, so clean my room. So likewise in your body, it's something that like this cluttered storeroom lah. So before it can look better and clean, you got to be okay, and understand that there could be some temporary discomfort. Of course, again, I would not label every discomfort as healing. Sometimes you just need to just observe yourself. If it doesn't feel like just a temporary discomfort, maybe for some people who have, I don't know what internal conditions, if you start feeling really, really worse, then you may need to seek some medical advice. I don't know. But just observe. If it's like, I just feel so thirsty now, I feel like tired, then listen and rest. Okay. So you know your body best. Okay. I hope you understand this part is you have to start to learn to understand your body better. Okay. Don't panic too fast. Okay. Don't panic, but rather stay calm and try to understand what it could be telling you. Okay, yeah? Correct. Now, for long-term conditions, okay, for some of you who probably are having these comorbidities, like, you have hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, stroke, autoimmune conditions, rheumatoid arthritis, right? And maybe chronic pain that's been around for a very long time. Definitely you will notice that it will take much longer to see some results. Okay, the healing will take much longer because your body has been through inflammation much longer, your circulation has been deprived or being poor much longer, your cells have been stressed much longer, and your repair capacity of your cells has also slowed down. Okay, so it's just like maybe like a car. If your car is old, okay, maybe more than 10 years, maybe not very well maintained, surely the condition you cannot expect it to run and go like a brand new car, right? So your body is the same thing. Over time, if there is this underlying conditions that you do not address, like this inflammation, surely the healing will take much longer. So please understand, if you're living with comorbidities, it may take much longer to get this healing process happening for you. Okay, so how many of you are probably having this kind of conditions? Please understand that you may not respond as fast or as well as the rest. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you cannot respond. It just means that your body may not be in that tip-top shape. Okay, So that is for people living with comorbidities. So my key message here is the body did not deteriorate overnight. So healing also will take time. Next one will be this. Mm, okay. So healing requires responsibility. Okay. Having said that, does it mean that I'm just going to do iTeraCare? I'm going to watch my diet? I'm going to exercise? Does it mean just that and hope and pray you're going to get better? Now, especially for those living with comorbidities or especially those above 40, 50, right? A certain age, right? You have to take your health also with some responsibility lah. Sometimes if you're following the doctor's follow-ups, you must follow it. You must go back and continue your follow-up. Okay. This is what we're doing today. It's not a replacement to fix your sort of sick body lah, because you still need assessment, you still need guidance, you still need to do your blood tests, and you need doctor to assess you. So please don't neglect your follow-up, even if you feel better, even if you feel good. Please go and follow up with your doctor so that the doctor can continue to monitor you. Okay, very, very important. Because I know of some people, just because they feel better, they think that I'm okay, I don't need to go for a checkup. And then suddenly, after a few years, boom, something happens. So medical follow-up is more for you to at least get a physical evaluation of yourself. Okay. Now, if you are taking medications as well, you you cannot stop taking your medication suddenly. Again, if you suddenly see your BP is so good, your blood sugar is so good, you feel you want to stop your medication, please don't do that if you do not have any guidance from your pharmacist or your doctor. Okay, a lot of people make these mistakes, and it has happened many times in my years. I've seen they are advised, don't take a medicine, long term it's going to spoil your kidney and all that. And then they all stop, their medication for diabetes and high blood. And then those people start recommending taking either supplements lah, herbs lah. Wow, I tell you, they go into chronic kidney failure, or they get into very serious problem. They landed in hospital because this is about poor education and not understanding. So why your doctor put you on a medication in the first place is because you had that imbalance. Okay, so to save your life, you have to take the medication for a while. But this is where the mistake comes lah. The mistake comes is when you take that medication and your blood pressure is controlled or your diabetes is controlled, you think you're well. So this is where the mistake is. The medication is there to contain you in the acute period of time. Now, this is where you must start taking charge of your health. What causes you diabetes? What causes you hypertension? Remember what is it? Your foundation, right? Poor circulation, inflammation. So now you have to go and correct that. And when your body starts to be more balanced, and when you follow up with your doctor, that's the time when you can review your medication, whether you can reduce the dosage or you can stop it. Let your doctor decide for you. Okay. This is the best thing that you can do. And I've done many, many clients who followed just like this, and they're doing very well because they did not do it on their own. They got guidance doing it. Okay, so important. This responsibility lies on you. It's not on your doctor, or so you have to know how you want to manage yourself. So if you have diabetes and blood pressure, you must monitor. Okay, this AI picture, of course, is bad lah. What I wanted to show is if you are diabetic and hypertensive, you must have a BP set at home to monitor, and you must have a blood glucose monitor also to monitor. This one is you have to have because every day you need to know what is happening in your body. Okay, then please journal it down. Whatever you do, you have to write down because information is important for us to assess you. Okay, then observe changes gradually. Okay, whether it's improvement or no improvement, just observe changes and write in your journal. Stay hydrated. You have to drink water. I have to emphasize this very, very strongly because many people stop drinking water for personal reason. Don't want to go toilet, don't want to wake up at night. They don't feel thirsty. They feel I don't like the taste of water. Okay, whatever reason it is, you still need to hydrate with water. Okay, I don't say that you must drink how many liters per day, but water is so important to flush out things, to make sure that your systems are running well. Okay, one observation, and definitely is something good for you to remind yourself, or maybe you have parents who are more senior, is when they don't drink water, it's because they don't feel thirsty. their sense of thirst is gone. Not say gone lah, very lowered lah. So they think that they're not thirsty, so they don't drink water. Again, that's the messenger. Remember, the messenger is the brain is not telling the body to drink water. So you have to drink water consistently, or you have to give your parents water to drink consistently, even though they're not thirsty. Okay, this is very important to note because I know of some people who don't drink water at all, and it's really bad lah. They get into like weakness, confusion. Okay, so water, let me drink some of it. Important. If you don't like it, put lah some lemon ka, okay? Not sugar lah, put some lemon or cucumber or mint, something just to make it more uh, tasty or tangy or so lah. Okay, and rest is very important. There's no change for rest. You have to rest accordingly lah. Okay, so let me see. Yeah. So please continue your medical follow-up. Don't stop your medicine suddenly. Monitor your blood pressure and sugar. Observe the changes gradually. Stay hydrated and rest adequately. Okay? Can you put a 1 if you understand this is your responsibility? Okay, Pearl says, every 6 months I see my cardiologist, even though I had my bypass 12 years ago. Correct. Yes, exactly, Pearl. That is why, you are doing well, you're confident, and that's important. Great. Everybody is a 1. Great, right? So my health is my responsibility. Right. So next will be this. So what are these healing blocks? What is stopping you from healing? So even though you have a good tool like iTeraCare, but you still need the right environment for it to work for you well. So these are the healing blockers. And take a look at this. And I want you to identify which is the one that you need to address urgently and type in the chat. Okay. So common healing blockers are like your diet. Okay. Inflammatory diet is what you put into your mouth. Okay. That causes more inflammation in your body. I think we all know it. We all know it. Cut sugars, cut processed food, reduce all this glutinous kind of thing, right? All this flour thing is really not so good. Reduce seed oils, reduce all the barbecue and grilled kind of food, which is not so good. What else? What are the inflammatory foods that you know? Yeah, if you know all these things, ask yourself, are you doing something to remove? Okay, sometimes we are so worried about like I want to make my body healthier. What supplements to take? Actually, sometimes it's not just about what you can take to improve your body. Sometimes it's just about what you can remove from putting it in your body, what you can remove from your diet. And just by removing, you probably feel better already. Okay. So the inflammatory diet is about you observing and practicing it. It's about a choice. Okay. So that's one thing. The other one will be, of course, your sleep. Okay. Am I sleeping enough? Okay. Or I just like to watch my Korean movie at night. Okay. Sometimes I'm speaking to myself, scrolling down your phone again just to catch up. Okay. So that one really have to be intentional. Okay. This for me is this my sleep. I'm intentional about putting my phone down earlier at night. Okay. Don't know how many of you are like me. Okay. Then okay, this stress thing, right? Stress can be something like, I know you can feel it, yeah, every day my work is so stressed, very demanding, people demand things of me, my family demand things of me. Those are the stress that you can feel. But do you know there is another kind of stress that is happening inside, but you don't realize that your body is under stress? So you can say, I'm okay, what? I'm all right, no problem, finance is okay, my children are all big and nice. You feel that everything is fine. But this chronic stress that's happening, right, is something that you probably are not aware of. This one has a very deeper meaning. Only probably you probably need some guidance, in order to identify some of this inner, deeper stress that you may not know is causing some havoc in your body. Okay, next will be your hydration, as I mentioned just now. Lack of movement. Okay, lack of movement is a choice. Okay. Sometimes we find it like exercise is like a chore, or you may say, oh yeah, my legs so pain, how to exercise now? Or you think movement means I must go and join a gym. Actually, it's none of that. You can even exercise sitting down, okay? Sitting down, okay? So long as you've noticed today, maybe your movement, if you realize that it's not enough, go and find some ways to just increase a little bit more, maybe 10 minutes more. Okay. One of the things that I feel I want to do, and I hope you all also can do, is do not sit after your meals, or do not sit after your dinner or so. After you makan, you just go and walk lah, 10 minutes. Okay. After your dinner, go and take a walk. I know my neighbor does it now. I mean, they're so regular, every time after dinner, when I come back home, like about 6 to 7 or so, sometimes I see them walking, and I haven't even had my dinner yet. Okay. And they're already walking around the taman after their dinner. So those are the things that maybe you can start doing to improve little by little, things that can help your body to be more supportive, okay, of that healing environment. Okay, so if you know of some of these things, yeah, which one are you improving now? Yes, May says, I'm drinking my water already. Yes, May, very good. Okay, right. So take note which one, just one. It's very overwhelming if you want to do everything at the same time, but just choose one. If water is the thing, do water first. It's fine. Okay. If perhaps you need to sleep earlier, you do that. Okay. Now, these last two things may not, you may not think that it's important, but this negativity and hopelessness is one big deal. Especially when we're using iTeraCare, right? A lot of what you speak to yourself, what you speak to your brain, what you speak to your cells have a very big role to play in whether you really heal or not. Okay. The word here is don't feel hopeless. Lah. If you're using iTeraCare, definitely you have some hope that it's going to help you, right? So believe in that hope. Tell your body, I'm healing, my pain is going away, I'm getting the right energy in my body. Tell yourself these positive words and repeat it again and again. I tell you, your results will be different. You have to believe what you do. Okay, no negative. I don't know this thing can work or not. My pain so long. You don't want to have a conflict in your brain. One week, in one side, you want the healing. Another side, you question the healing. No. Okay, please sit down and tell yourself the positive things and remove whatever that's negative that's coming. Just remove, because your healing needs a lot of positive vibes. Okay. This one, I think Datin Fuziana is expert. You can ask her about how to train your mind to be hopeful and to be positive. Okay. So my key message here is iTeraCare works best when combined with a supportive lifestyle habit. Okay. Take it bit by bit. Do what you can, but at least every day make a good choice, a better choice from what you have been doing today and yesterday. Okay, every day take a good choice. So these 6 pillars, okay, again, take a look. I want you to look at just one that you can improve today. Okay, so these 6 pillars for better healing environment. Remember, right? Is it sleep? Is it hydration? Is it nutrition? Is it movement? Is it your emotional wellness? Or is it just not using your iTeraCare properly? Okay, please type in the chat which is the one pillar that you want to improve today. Yes, Linda, I'm healing. Every day I do movement, watching TV. Okay, talk to me by YouTube. Sleep. Me say sleep. Pearl says sleep. Linda says sleep. Yeah, looks like we need to sleep, right? I also want to improve on sleep. I do sleep enough though, but I just don't sleep early only lah. Okay, great. Now, let's make it simple. Okay, if it's complicated, you find it very hard to follow lah. So the simple things will be just this lah. So if those of you who say you're not drinking enough water, start by drinking a bit more water. I always have a glass and a bottle on my table to remind me that I need to drink. It's now become like I need to have it. If not, I'll be working upstairs and I won't go downstairs and get water. So you just make it easy for you to reach out to it. Okay, reduce your sugar intake. Maybe cut down, instead of 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Okay, walk daily and prioritize sleep. So those are simple things. Maybe some of you would like to practice more internal kind of wellness. Okay, maybe you want to practice gratitude. Now, gratitude is something I've been reading a lot, that sometimes we are not aware of simple things happening around us that we must be thankful for. Okay, today Ilan is sharing this with you. Please thank you that I know I'm reminding you, because I see how important this is for us to have that right mindset and emotions. Okay, then deep breathing is also something that you can do intentionally. When maybe 3 times, 4 times a day, you just sit down quietly, breathe in, hold 4 seconds and breathe out. Because this is called intentional breathing where you're focusing on it going in. Okay, so that I'm sure you all know how to do it. I also sometimes tend to forget because when we are busy doing things, we just take our breathing for granted. And of course, the consistent iTeraCare sessions. Okay, so yes, me movement, right? After makan, go and jalan, go and walk. All right. Now, healing is cumulative lah. So even though those things that you do is little, but little by little by little, it will pay off in the end. Just like blowing your iTeraCare. Maybe blowing one time you may not see it, but everyday practices will give you a lot of improvements. So I'm coming to the end whereby I want you all to see this bigger vision of healing lah. Because healing is more than just symptom relief. Okay, if you get a symptom relief, it's great. But now healing is about having better function, having better resilience, and having better energy. Correct? Yeah. And that's where you will get better cellular communication and better quality of life. See, over the years, right, I've seen many people has shifted, they have improved so much, not because they found a miracle healer or miracle tool or so, but because they also changed their healing environment. Okay, from people who don't exercise, they start exercising. From people who just eat what they like, but now they make better choices. Okay, so here's where iTeraCare is not replacing the wisdom of your body; it's helping your body to remember how to heal. Right? So if you can understand the positioning of your tool and what your body needs to heal, you will find this process, right? This journey more, you can do it more calm with more understanding and reduce the wrong expectations. So here, just to let you know that your body still wants to heal. Your body wants to heal. No matter what age you are, you're 60, 70, 80, your body still can heal and it wants to heal, okay? So your body is very intelligent. Just realize that healing takes patience and changes matters a lot. Okay? And consistency is important. And remember, hope matters. When you have hope, you have a chance. When you lose hope, most of the time your body don't respond because you already gave up. Okay. So your body has the wisdom to heal and it just needs the environment differently. So if you really need some support or guidance, you're not very sure, feel free to reach out to me. You can message me. Um, I I don't mind helping you and maybe identifying some of your blind spots. But before you do that, you all must do a homework. Okay, you have to um, write down lah, journal a little bit. Because if I don't know your lifestyle, I don't know what time you sleep, or I don't know what is happening in your daily life, at least journal. Journal for at least 1 week, whether you drink enough water, your movement, whether you do iTeraCare, what is your pain level. You journal all these things and then you show me. From there, I can identify and help you to identify maybe where are the areas that you can improve on. Okay. So if you just ask me one question, I cannot give you an answer because I do not have a bigger picture of yourself. Okay. So with that, this is the end. I hope it has been informative. I think you all probably know everything I said already, lah. You probably know it. It's just that whether we are taking the actions, whether we are consistent or something like that, right? So I want before we end, maybe we can just take like 5 minutes. If any of you here would like to share your healing journey, especially those who have come quite far and you feel or you already feel that you know your body, you understand your body and how this process has helped you to be a better person who is responsible for your health, please do share and help some of our new users maybe who are probably still on their journey of learning about themselves and healing. Can maybe one or two of you share? I know somebody there who has a great story to share. Pearl, your journey is amazing. If you all have been following Pearl on her Facebook, you can read about her journey, when she had a bypass 12 years ago and how she took charge of herself. Okay. So maybe Pearl, can you just share very quickly about, what was that process of healing that helped you to be where you are today at 70, traveling, independent, confident?
Uh, hi, everybody. My healing took, okay, if you didn't read my Facebook, I had a bypass 12 years ago. but the healing takes some time, right? Now that I'm 71, uh, what is important to me is consistency, because I'm very lazy with exercise. But I tell myself, if I don't, and I have arthritis, so at some time before, my hands in the morning were very stiff, my fingers, sorry. So what helped me is iTeraCare helped me a lot for my blood circulation, so my fingers were not so tight. Then I told myself I have to have a regime every day, at least half an hour of walking or some sort of exercise. So Ilan started some exercise movement in the morning. So I also follow about 45 minutes. That's very good. So even though you're lazy, you still follow the movement that Ilan has with William. At least we do that, for half an hour. So you loosen up. I think that's very important. Especially those like me, I'm retired. So sometimes you just sit around the house doing nothing, which is very bad, you see. So I make sure that I have some movement. And then if I'm not lazy, I will go to the gym. Then the other thing is sometimes I forget to drink water, which is bad for me because I will be constipated. So I must make sure every day for sure I will warm my water. Then make sure at least I will take at least 1.5 liter. That's how much I can take now. But because I also have my blood thinners and my other tablets, so my doctor also told me to be careful, not overdo the water part. So the general uh, what you call that, guys, that another thing is the mindset. I used to be very negative. If I do this, I'm afraid, oh, what will happen if like that, like that, like that. But I realized um, that doesn't help. So now I during the COVID, it was very helpful. I follow this positive lady called what's her name again? I forgot. And
Louisa
then
Hay.
Louise Hay,
Yeah.
yeah, my teacher, and I forgot her name. So she has a lot of nice videos explaining how to go towards gratitude. How are the positive affirmations in the morning you say to yourself? Look yourself in the mirror. That was the hardest thing. She taught us is look yourself in the mirror every morning and say hello to yourself and love yourself for what you are. Well, that was difficult, right? Because you feel so silly, like looking in the mirror. I love you, Pearl. It's like, don't go, right? But you get used to it. And actually, as time goes by, you like to say that to yourself, because it really freshens you up and starts your day positively. Not like, oh my God, today I have to do this, I have to do that. It doesn't come to me now. Whatever projects I have, I take it positively. It has to be done within that day or whatever I program it, so that at least when you go out, you have positive vibes rather than see the negative part. So to me, mindset is very, very important. So, okay, I can go on and on. Let's give everybody a chance. Thank you, Linda, for coming in, and Sufan. Hope you're enjoying and learn
Thank
something.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pearl. Yeah. I think um after knowing Pearl for a couple of years already, I've seen a
Mm.
lot of her progress, and I like her very jovial self. Now people don't become jovial just by nature sometimes, because all of us have our worries, our troubles. We all have things like that. But you can choose to continue to worry and be moody, or you can choose to be happy and take your problems in stride, and there'll be a different outcome now. So Pearl is one of those who, like she said, she's very positive. Um, yeah, some of the things can be challenging, but she just takes it in her stride and not let it affect her or slow her down. And like what she said, consistency is the issue. Even after a bypass, right? Like you follow her Facebook, her explanation about her journey was very touching to me, because that one has to be made aware to most people who are going through a major health challenge like a bypass or a stent or some operation or so, because it's not that time itself. It's not the operation or the bypass itself. It's what happens after that is important. Your recovery is important. Whether you recover well or you don't recover well, that is now the choice that you make. Yeah.
Mm.
So follow the. I thank you for being very um, open about sharing. And I'm very, very sure many people will be, at least they have some awareness to do something about it. Anyone else who just want to give a quick something, maybe that something cross your mind about this session today or so? Linda, you want to, Linda Lim, yeah. Maybe there's something positive that came out since you journey with us. What is that one habit that you have improved over time? You can unmute and yeah.
Actually, I still haven't got over my bad habits. But through attending talks, you try to get the things done. No? My bad habit is sleeping. I always sleep between 1 to 2 o'clock, and I wake up around 6:10 for some activity I force myself to do. Hopefully, I will sleep early. So this is the habit. Through the talks, the talks will give me some vibes. Hey, remember, Ilan says sleep, sleep, sleep. So this one hopefully will encourage me to really take up the challenge of getting sleeping early. That's about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Now, same lah. Actually, I also sleep around that time lah. And if you tak jadi if you tak jadi lah, let's say, yeah, I know I want to sleep earlier tonight, but tak jadi. The next day, I say I'll sleep early, tak jadi. Please don't give up, because it's not easy to break a habit. I can understand that totally lah. But we are always trying, okay? We are always trying, and don't give up trying and cultivating that one thing that's the most difficult for you, okay?
Yeah.
So, but don't keep on hearing my name lah. Ilan said go to sleep. Ilan said go to sleep.
I think
Okay.
I'm going to make an alarm, You lah, Ilana, me lah, all these sleeping after 12 o'clock, okay? I'm going to make one alarm ring. 11 o'clock, time to go to bed.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Can Pearl can be the alarm trigger. Okay, everyone. I I hope this session has been at least a little bit helpful, lah. If you can do something, just one thing lah at the start is good enough already. Please continue to share in our group chats, our iTeraCare group chat. Share if you have had some improvement, because every little sharing may help another person. Okay. So and why I want to have this kind of meetup, because we seldom get to meet up. Okay, at least meet up on Zoom also better than not able to meet up lah. And it's also a platform for you to come and share a little bit. You have questions to ask. Next week I'm planning another session on Sunday with me. We do our Prive Touches Lives, right? And I realize it's already chapter 9, We've done 8 episodes where people are sharing how they have transformed, how they feel better, and to encourage others. So next week, 24th, most likely 95% is going to be on. Wait for the poster. But please come on again. And if any of you willing to share your testimony, please reach out to me or reach out to me. We want your story to be heard to help other people as well. Okay, so that will be next week. And if you find this kind of sessions is helpful, just let me know, because it does take a bit of time for me to do preparation. And if there's any topics that maybe that you want to know more, yeah, thank you. Anything you want to know more, also let me know. Maybe I can address, because a lot of people don't want to ask, but they have the questions. But maybe if you ask, I can answer your questions and prepare something in relation to that, and it can help other people as well. All right. So before ending again, let's take a photo. Mr. Tam, hello. I know you're driving, is it? You watch the road, Let me just stop the
Mr.
recording
Tam or
first.
Mr. Kim or Tam Kim Kyong?